The strings come in, the laughter comes in. My arms are open to all the murderous possibilities. I am not a nice man, but I am not a despicable Titus Andronicus either. So for now, the laughter upstairs and the lemons keep me company when I walk to the house in the forest with all the lights on. I shouldn't be at the house. I should go on and on about experience, how I was a pinwheel once and you were a dog's heart or a turn-on or both. The phone rings and it's a recording I hang up on. It took all the coke in town to bring down Dennis Brown. I will not come down and I will not walk the stairs up to the front door of that house. I will wake up and grab another cold one and get what I deserve. I will never go yonder. I will never ever after the end. I'm going to read a poem from this new book, Lightheaded. It's called Too Heavy for Liftoff. Kite string coterie, he gladly flies the face of, gladly the ocean with buckets he drinks of, and bruises that don't open up in the violet or keep to themselves in electric, the swamp kiss. Oh, swamp kiss, amplifiers, stacks of guitars, we follow the tabloids lead through the chorus. Ferocious deer asparagus, most shocking the wigwam, send money urgently. This volume's allergic, and the chlorophylled meadow, though deepened with tourniquet, is high as a lingerie modeling takeoff. Camouflage, camouflage, disaster of souffle. If the newspapers say grace, how do you say it? Butter. If ether. If platypus, every dented note a little bit cherry stem. The warier the kitty cat. Nobody likes an ode to fashion ever since fierceness gobbled the closeness. See, I too can make a sentence too heavy for liftoff. A random thing with fire ants, plaid and played to death. Granny Smith's green apple tartlet with gravity. Full frontal nakedry. Jaws of jaws. Fructose, paraplume, caveat with bubbly, my, miraculous, the worry. Couldn't you just tie a slip knot? The whale feels better after vomiting the prophet. So many eponymous Weezer discs repeating, all speaking at once and contradictory to the teachings of Aristotle. Logically, of course, the apocalypse presence now nearing the finish line, firing squad airbag, 7 dopey dwarves. The shepherd is covering her flock with a blankie. No wonder the field commander in the field of wildflowers is canceling infinities squared and infinities frosting. Opening a bakery is difficult work. You may think you'd like to dance a monster, but your glue stick's rather sticky or rather tacky, rather six-pack buffet. But 3 befuddled cheers later, upon a peanut butter sandwich, you're tossed to the lake like a deadhead from Olympus. If only you'd been dipped in chocolate first. Nobody better than a stay-at-home lightning bolt. Fish don't pay attention to sculpture any more than right now you're paying homage to a detonation slide whistle. If you want to be a tricycle, then you'll have to make some changes. This meter's checked until 6 p.m., Monday through Saturday. If somebody tells you to bolt a fabric, better watch out, it's not reality. Delay, she blows up like a toaster. Everybody goes nightlife when the campfire takes its sleeping fits. Nobody worries too much, the loss of density, the werewolf of winery, overrated memories. Stick it in your earlier report on stupidity's electorate. All the good Americans take notice and offense. Whoops, there goes another rubber tree plot, and there she blows, paradisical anthill. You think you'd like it reckless, but with a seatbelt, forget it. You can't be out of control in control, and you can't be a shopping cart either. The phone booth is a mystery now, but it used to be merely a phone booth. So too the record player, and the saber-toothed tiger and the battleship. Then came the bailouts. To keep the world from sinking into its lonely and overrated flatness. Who could use a sea monster right about now? Something with a purpose, to eat us, to force the issues to be issues and the sentences to say something, the people in their organs to sing it. Until you've seen the world through a monocle, belief makes about as much sense as Sudoku to a parking lot of kittens. It's that time of year, now the pumpkins, you caress the nervous system laughter of a stranger, and that makes you gorgeous. But only on those occasions when the tuba players seem ready to blow up all the golf courses under the blood of a honeymoon shadow puppet. Now imagine praying for the soul of the rodent just before you crush it with the heel of your shoe. 0 boys and 0 girls, and 0's easy breezy. When the wind uprooted the tree, it was rotting underneath, it was writing on the ceiling. Everything smelled like a barnyard of flies, a hoopla of wheatgrass, now covered in mistress, which is no less anxious than Nancy Drew is mysterious. Negative culpability in the wings of a moth. No more hotel rooms, no more back rooms. Everything happens in the sandbox backyard. Wait until you see the political debris. The red tide horizon and its bubble to the fore. Civilization's dying, says the robot inside out. What a hottie. Hella cool. Huzzah, huzzah, huzzah. Verifying fortune. The tanker spilling sugar. You put the bicycle in your notebook and muddy the gazebo with cherry bombs and faction. You saber-tooth the tiger. You take off your pajamas in the service of loving both all of us toothless. Do scramble the spectacular force field around American interventionist omelet stations. Too unwieldy these deployments and footnotes, baseballs and politicians. Advil as directed. This new direction is the pride of my tongue against your palm tree with version. Patiently the cowboy considers his galoshes. 2 paper bags, how we used to pack lunch. So much little makes sense of your adoption. So the new rules in effect are a means for thwarting pirates. Huh? I have my best ideas when I'm reminding myself of yourself in the bathtub. Steam rising up off a hot apple crisp after a long delay of playing in the fish beneath the frozen lake. What could be better than a head wrapped in igloo? I haven't used one euphemism. AC/DC. Counting, no sentence of money, no money of acquisition, no acquisition of status, no status updating of status and meth. The heart is still beating. But how and where that happens is a mystery at best. Where's Matt? And what could he possibly think he's proving, and to whom? In the clutter of the worms, whitest light off in the rock quarry, the robot's sticky hatred of anything, approximating dumb humanism's gruel. I love gruel. I will make a lot of it. In the broad light of day, in the manic depressive, I wriggle myself like a sled dog. Ernest Hemingway would not approve. Rate death of clumsily stepping on a copperhead. Always wear a shoe. Always the sun, whenever possible, the fairy tale. Forgiving some, jelly beans, carcinoma, Volkswagen. For a moment, the trees seemed to whisper, mother bleep, but bleep and retreat. Damnable turntable, never to skip along the main street again, never to play the other children for their marbles so fabulous, digital. Pile up and pile on, the footballs are plenty, the levies are holding their breath once in the future slash no future on the cross-stitched horizon. I made a potholder with a lobster, impressed the hell out of Saturn, and thus the trade of rings, sarcastically to the shareholders who got the raw end of the yellow fin. The middle finger I placed in the yard is still standing, my line in the sand still crawling with crickets. The leopards in my facelift, the scolding, better uncle, no uncle, until you're nervous, your sheep shank exploded, explode, easy to doozy, to wander, no discipline. Some people seem to think, and others simply abandon ship while she's crying. I could never do that because I'm curious about breakfast and murmurs under covers, how there is nothing to eat me in the sea that I would not also eat given the right circumstances, and a mouth with many teeth returning to the surface and whirling like a derelict, the hook in my lip like the stripes of a zebra. I flap my arms wildly and hope. I just have one more short poem. This is called Hark Hark. It's 6:40 p.m. on Saturday, but I'm not feeling like a poem. I type April and the computer tells me the 9th, 2011. I'm tracing a Ted Berrigan sonnet with my finger, or I was 20 seconds almost ago, and drinking the Malbec that Melanie bought just this afternoon to save me from frustration after frustration, grading nobody's papers. I get so angry doing busy work assessment when I'd rather be reading an anthology of New York poets edited by Ron Padgett and David Shapiro, or The Time of the Assassins by Henry Miller. And it bums me out that I don't think any of my students really like my poems the way I really like their poems with all my heart, which is a problem. And also, I still haven't started writing the introduction to the reissue that Nate's doing of Paul's first book, In Baltic Circles, which is a terrific book. And if he were here right now, that is Paul, not Nate, writing this poem. I bet he'd interrupt it with an advertisement or a public service announcement. You just want a trip to Nigeria, or that cloud above your house is this lime tree bower, my prison. And the vocabulary would be so fucking unbelievable. I'd need a dictionary just to get the wiring, but not to get the music, because he had an ear like a bird. And no, that simile doesn't make sense. Green and yellow wings against a dopey blue sky, but it's spring. The ones I saw today, so surprisingly for real and exactly like that. I wanted to offer to buy them a drink. Thanks for being birds and coming home to roost. I guess it's time to face the fact that Paul Violi died. Pancreatic cancer 1 week ago tonight, which totally explains why he never answered those last 2 emails about the axe and his bio. I sent them on Sunday and he was already ether, habituated to the vast with Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Thanks.